Okay,
By
I rest my
definition,
case. That's it.
we're on
Okay,
equal
I rest my
ground.
case.
What if I believe that all human life is valuable, that there's a soul in the body at conception?
No, wait, I'm not, none of these questions are science.
Human life is intrinsically valuable in and of itself. It doesn't have to already meet certain criteria that you're arbitrarily putting in there. It is human life, and the purpose of abortion is to come in and prevent human life. It's to come in and kill the human life.
Okay, but preventing human life isn't all wrong. That's what I'm trying to get a simple, narrow definition. Because you would say condoms aren't wrong, and that's okay.
Steven. It's something that's
sperm are already sperm are already alive. So there's something else that's happening here.
Tissue.
No,
sperm is tissue.
Yeah.
The ovaries.
Tissue is alive. Your body, the tissue in your body is alive. What do you mean?
It's not a human being. You have to have both.
Yeah, but neither is a fetus. A
egg.
fetus is not a human being. That's
it is a human being.
Define human being. Now, I was going. Steven beat me to it. Define human being.
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out what is like that when we say human being. Like, when does the life become that thing, that human being that's worth protecting?
At conception. At conception.
Okay, and then
because it now has both sets of DNA from the sperm and the egg. And it is in the process of growing. It's already a human. It's already established. And if you didn't intercede to kill it, it would continue to develop. And it's already human.
Sure.
It's just going through.
Okay.
So you kill a tadpole, you're still killing it.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
But would you say when you kill a tadpole, you kill a frog?
Yes. I'm saying you're killing a life.
No, we're not talking. Wait, no one here is arguing whether you're killing a life or a living thing.
It's a human, whether it's an embryonic stage, a fetal stage, or a fully developed stage.
So hold on, wait, and then Tree, you can go. So in my opinion, when arguments come to the point where you circle the drain this hard and then there is like a hard pivot on every single question, I think that the conversation has run its course. So I'm good on where I'm at for establishing my points. I think I set up consciousness as a pretty valid thing. I think I argue that convincingly this is why you're dead. At the end of your life, it's when your conscious ceases to exist. I've tried for like 30 minutes to figure out like what is your thing for life that you would protect, and I've gotten like 50 it's not that I don't like it, it's that every time I try to push on, well, what about this or what about that, I get these answers like, well, that's a wild hypothetical.
They're not analogous.
So no, I know they're not analogous. It doesn't have to be one.
It can be dismissed without logical penalty. Human life is human life, regardless of the stage of development.
I gotta run downstairs real quick. No, nothing was clear in your definition. It was nothing.
Human life is human life, regardless of the stage of development that it's in. It doesn't matter if you're an embryo or if you're 90 years old. You are a human life, and that is worth protecting. I think that's super clear.
Here's the question that I would put to anybody who's prepared to answer it. If a fetus or an embryo is not a human being, what is it?
It's a human fetus.
I mean, well, okay, but it's still human. Yes, it's.
I mean, a tadpole is not a frog, right? A sperm, like it's like one stage. Like a corpse is a human corpse. A body could be a human body. Fetus can be a human fetus. Like we can talk about like the biological body that exists, but it seems like the thing that we value, that we treasure, that we're trying to protect is the conscious experience. It seems to be the thing that we're aimed at.
I don't agree.
Okay, that's fine that you don't agree. I know you don't agree, but you guys never gave me a good
you haven't given a good reason why that needs to be the thing. What if I believe that all human life is valuable, that there's a soul in the body at conception, in the embryo at conception, there is a soul, and that you don't have any better
then I would ask you, I would ask you, where is the soul?
It's not something you can it's not something you can physically locate.
Then if it's not something that I can measure, there's no way I can't
be measured either.
It absolutely can be in some ways. Yes.
In some ways. See, you had to qualify that because we don't. This is something that's hotly debated.
No. Hold on. This is your whole argument is Loki's wager. That if I can't pinpoint 100% exactly what consciousness is, you're telling me that it is the same validity as your concept of a soul, which has no physical manifestation whatsoever.
Right. I'm saying
I'm telling you that if you're going to employ debate terms and rational and logic and all that during this conversation, you have to understand the absurdity of saying that since I cannot give you a concrete 100% like analysis of where this particular thing is, that that very concept becomes equal to every other absurd thing that I can possibly think of. That is ridiculous.
I understand that you don't like it, but what
no,
I'm saying
hold
is that
on.
we're on equal
I'm not
ground.
saying that I don't like it. I'm telling you that we're not on...
I'm saying that consciousness versus the soul, we are on equal ground. You can't unequivocally prove in some sort of, you like to...
Okay, if I make a statement that there is a pink demon floating behind you that spins around every time you turn around to look at it, and then you tell me I think that there is like oxygen floating behind you. Neither of us can prove that. Are we on equal ground when we make those statements?
Yes, we are.
Okay, I rest my case. That's it. Okay, I rest my case.
This one coming in from Bowl of Spaghetti says, prove that there is a soul. What is the evidence for a soul?
Well, you can't prove the existence of a soul any more than you can prove the existence of consciousness. It certainly seems that way, right? We all operate as if there's consciousness. We all operate and act as if there's a soul. But what do you mean by prove it? Like, do you want material proof? Or, you know what I mean? That's when you get into, can you materially prove these things, or are we having a metaphysical debate?
What gives rise to a soul?
God.
Okay, if I show you a desk, does a desk have a soul?
No.
If I show you a human foot, does that have a soul?
The foot in and of itself.
If I just cut a foot off and I give it to you, does this have the soul of a person?
No.
So okay, so you can tell me where it's not. Can you draw some kind of boundary around where it is?
Okay, I will try to, but again, we're getting into a theological debate here. In Orthodoxy, we have something called an essence energies distinction. We don't think that human beings are just substance, and we don't think they're just energy. We think they're a combination of both. And we would believe that when you are conceived, you have something called a nous, which is similar to the Western concept of a soul, which combines your mental faculties with your emotional faculties and your spiritual faculties.
Where are the faculties found?
There's not a physical location necessarily, but when people talk about the heart, that's usually what they mean. Then again, you get into a
so if somebody has
debate.
like
it's a physical location, not everything. So like consciousness doesn't have a physical location either.
Well, yes, it does. It arises from a physical location. Yes.
A lot of scientists don't believe that the brain is where consciousness necessarily resides. Again,
you can take the rest of this conversation. I challenge you to find me a single published scientist that thinks that consciousness arises from something that's not the brain.
I will send you some discourse between scientific philosophers.
No. I don't want somebody that does the philosophy of science. That's a fundamentally different topic.
Philosophy of science is extremely important. You can't do science without it.
Unfortunately, you absolutely can. So philosophy of science is a markedly, philosophy of science is a markedly different thing than the practice or exercise of science itself.
Well, then you're a materialist. Then you're talking about only materialism. So then it's a whole nother debate.
Bowl of Spaghetti says 2 questions for Rachel. Rachel, you were getting so much attention, it's not even funny. They said, should you be forced to donate organs to someone that is dying?
Well, I've had 5 of them, and I don't think you could really say it's always a drain. No.
Rachel, this is the most bad faith, unbelievably stupid thing you could ever possibly say.